What's going on, guys? So the last video that I shot about dating as a guy with long hair had a lot more views than I thought it would. So I want to shoot a follow-up, but as I shoot this follow-up, I want you to really take in what I'm saying, because honestly, I think the message behind this video can be really powerful for you. So let's take it back. I'm going to post a photo on screen of what I looked like 3 years ago. Let me tell you now, I am miserable at this point in my life, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about why. Yes, I'm in great shape. Yes, I have a good haircut, and yes, I look on the surface like everything is going pretty damn well for me. Below that though, there's something very different that's happening. I'm not being true to myself. I'm not expressing myself. I've got this really strong perfectionist driver that's just going off in my head telling me that I need to be better. I've got this really strong perfectionist drive that's going off in my head saying that what you are is never going to be enough. And it makes perfect sense as to why it is. I'm going to the gym and whatever I'm doing, I'm thinking it's not good enough. I need to be bigger, I need to be stronger, I need to be leaner. If my hair looks out of place, I think let's change the haircut, let's slick it back, let's use a different product, let's find a neater look. But when all's said and done, is any of that bringing any benefit to my life? Is any of that really changing or really transforming my life? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm going to tell you why it had no impact on my love life. In fact, I'm going to tell you then why my love life and my dating life was pretty damn poor. I can remember it. At that point in my life, I was pining over and I was really craving this girl that was interested in me, but she was never really truly interested in me because I didn't allow her to be. I was really caught up in being this perfect guy with the pristine body and the great haircut. As a result, she never really saw who I was. As a result, she never really saw me properly express myself as who I was. Flash forward to where I'm at now. I've got the long hair, I'm a lot more relaxed, and now I'm attracting people that are really interested in who I am. I'm now really beginning to attract people that I want to attract. And the most powerful difference that's happened has been a really, really powerful change and a really strong switch in my mind shift. I've let go of this idea that I need to be a good match for everybody. And what I've realized is that it's about being a great match for the right people. It's powerful, honestly. When you're a good match for a lot of people, what you'll find is people will date you, you'll go on dates with people, but firstly, they'll never connect with you, and secondly, you'll never connect with them. It will be a really, really frustrating experience for both of you. When you start really connecting with people as who you actually are, and when you start really connecting with people as the best version of you and as the version of you that you want the world to see, and as the version of you that actually resonates and is the truest version of you, you will lose a lot of interest from some women. There will be some women that will not look twice at you. There will be some women that will just say that is not my cup of tea, that is not my bag, and I don't want to date that. But there'll be a select niche, and that select niche will really gravitate towards you. That select niche will really connect with you. And it won't just be on a dating front, it will be on a friendship front, it will be on a romantic front, and it will definitely be on a sexual front as well. And when you get to that point and you start making those types of connections with people, dating will become fun. And as I always say, whenever I'm speaking about it, whenever I'm coaching with people, the minute dating stops becoming fun, or the minute you stop having fun speaking to that person, that's a red flag. That person is not the right match for you. But it's really hard to understand that, and it's really, really hard to process that. And what tends to happen is, rather than accepting that, rather than moving on, what we tend to do is we tend to get really caught up in bettering ourselves. We automatically decide that we're not good enough for that person, or we automatically decide that we'll be good enough for that person when we have reached a said state or a said state of happiness or a said way of looking. You'll never reach that state of happiness, and you'll never reach a point where you'll be good enough for that person, because that person is just not the right match for you. But when you connect with people that are the right match for you, it will feel fun straight away. You'll connect on every level, people will see it, people will see you as the type of person that they want to date, and you'll see people that are the type of people that you want to date as well. And it just honestly becomes powerful. Dating becomes fun again. So when I'm working with clients, and particularly when I'm working with male clients, a lot of them have very low self-esteem, and a lot of them are harboring, and they're looking back at this perception of how they saw themselves when they were young. A lot of them will be guys that weren't popular with them when they were at school, and they automatically still at this point in their life still see popularity groups in terms of, there's a popular group of girls and I'm an ugly guy and I'll never make it in with the popular group of girls. Then they possibly spent a lot of their adult life trying to change and trying to get themselves to a point where they feel ready to date and ready to be in that group of popular girls. The problem is, it never comes. The problem is they'll never be that. and they've beaten themselves up and they've internalized that and they've made a lot of meaning that they were never good enough. It's really interesting to talk about it with those guys, and it's really interesting to get them to step back and actually think why they would like to date those popular girls, why they're so desperate to be in that group. And usually they have no reason. Usually just the reason is that they feel if they can get a girl of that level, or they can date someone of that level, they'll feel good enough within themselves, or they'll feel like all the work that they've done in themselves was actually for a reason. That is a terrible mind. That is a terrible position to have in your mind. That is a terrible way of looking at it. And it is not a way that will bring you happiness, because it is never going to be something that feels authentic or anything that feels real to you. What will feel real to you is when you become that version of yourself. What will feel even real to you, even realer to you, will be when people start becoming attracted to that version of yourself. And the metaphor that I always use to these guys is, imagine being out at a party. You can have 5 women in there that are a fine match for you, but you can have 1 woman there who's a great match for you. Who are you going to want to spend your time with? The women that will be a fine match for you, okay? Maybe you go on a couple of dates, maybe you connect a little bit, maybe it's okay, maybe it goes well, but it's never really going to have that excitement by it. You're never really going to get that heart-stopping feeling when you message them. You're never really going to look opposite them and think, God, you're amazing, because they're just a fine match for you. When you find that person who's a great match for you, you'll look at them and you'll be blown away. When you find that person who's a great match for you, you'll just think, that is what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I've wanted. But you're not going to find that person who's a great match for you until you really start expressing yourself. You're not going to find that person who's a great match for you until you really start leaning into who you are. And I'm going to segue very slightly now, and I'm going to show you a photo now of when I was 11 years old. For me, this is a really powerful conversation to have around it. This is a great photo, and it really is a great photo because it illustrates me. Growing up, I always wanted to fit in, but growing up, I never wanted to fit in just by being normal. I always knew there was a part of me that was slightly different, and I always wanted to express that part of me. Problem is, life happens. Problem is, rejection happens. Problem is, people tell you that you shouldn't be that. But in this photo, at the age of 11 years old, I am really expressing who I am. I'm with my mum and I'm wearing a new metal band t-shirt. But you can just tell when you look at that photo, there's just a little naughty side to me that needs to be expressed. Circling now around to the age of 31, as a guy with long hair, as a guy with tattoos, as a guy with a nose ring, who steps out wearing whatever he feels like wearing, who steps out talking and expressing himself in the way that he wants to be. I've now began to express that part of me that at 11 years old was not being expressed. I've now began to express that part of me that didn't come out over the period in between where I wished it could have done, but my desire to be popular and my desire to be liked stopped it coming out. So this for me has been one of the most powerful benefits of growing my hair long and dating as a guy with long hair. I've become a lot more confident in my identity, and I've become a lot more confident in expressing that identity. So the message that I really want you to take away as you watch this is just express it. Just be you. Just do whatever you want. Don't be challenged by what other people say. Don't be challenged by the stereotypes that people throw at you. Don't be challenged by the rejections that you get. And if you do get rejections, don't think about changing anything about yourself to please other people. Attaching your value to what other people think of you is no different to attaching your value to money, just as in the same way that it's an external factor for validation and it's an external factor for approval. And crucially, it's an external factor that can be taken away at any point. Growing my hair long has really helped me develop that self-confidence from within, and growing my hair long has also really built a foundation and a way that I can express that. And I can tell you firsthand the benefit it has had on my love life has been powerful. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you got the message behind it, and I really hope you can take something away. If you liked it, please can I ask you to click like and subscribe down below. If you also liked it, please can I ask you to follow me on my Instagram as well. I'll post the handle down below. And if you really liked it, I am now offering one-on-one coaching too at the website also down below. So thank you so much for watching it. I really appreciate it.